Professor Ferguson, I'd like to ask you about the trends that we see today. There is a AI-related disruption. There are trade wars going on. We're seeing inflation cycles. What permanent shifts do you expect in the world order?
Well, I would think of the world as being in a second Cold War. I think that's been true since 2018, if not earlier. And that's because China has essentially taken on the role that the Soviet Union played in the first Cold War. That is to say, it's the communist-led authoritarian regime which is challenging the United States and its allies technologically, ideologically, and geopolitically. And the situation of so-called middle powers, such as India, or for that matter, the European Union, is how do you adjust to a new Cold War? We had a very pleasant interwar period from 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed until around 2012. When Xi Jinping came to power in Beijing, we think of that as an era of globalization. It's clear that we're living through a period in which globalization is in retreat, partly because of tariffs, but also because I think there's been a general backlash against globalization. If you think about the world in that framework, then it's clear that India has a different strategy from its strategy in the first Cold War. In the first Cold War, the Indian position was, we're not aligned. We don't really want to be caught up in this superpower conflict. We'd like to be, in a sense, aligned with neither superpower. In more recent times, in this second Cold War, India has tried to be, in some ways, aligned with both. I've called it the Polyamorous strategy. And I can remember Minister Jaishankar boasting a couple of years ago at the Munich Security Conference about India's ability to have it both ways, to have a relationship with China and the BRICS, and also to have a relationship with the United States. I think that's over. I think that ended this year. And it's now very clear that India has to make sure that it is on good terms with the United States, because it clearly has too many points of conflict with China to be in a truly comfortable relationship with Beijing. So this is a very different kind of Cold War for India. And India is, of course, a more economically significant country than it was